All right. So I want to talk about. I tried to get all the way through Raw. I pretty much did. So I got this Pro Wrestling Illustrated's PWI 500. I've always bought this when I've seen it because it's always interesting to me to see where some of the veteran wrestlers that aren't on TV anymore end up. They usually cover a lot of guys, and you'll go, "Oh wow, I remember him." For instance, here's 409 as Tommy Dreamer, and it says the ageless innovator of violence is still a force in Impact with his house of hardcore promotion, as well as being a fixture on the Indies. Beat Michael Elgin in the finals of the inaugural Bruiser Brody Cup tournament in January. Won the OVW Anarchy title in November of 2018. So that it's a fun way to see where guys are and to see up and coming wrestlers. There's always been guys who I see in here and I go, oh, they've got the right look. That's he looks like a good wrestler. And then you'll see him in WWE later and I go, oh, that's the one I saw in the 500. Now, in watching Raw last night, so you have Rey Mysterio go in the ring, and then Brock Lesnar comes out, and all I could think was, Brock Lesnar doesn't need to ragdoll Rey Mysterio. Doesn't need to get over. He doesn't. He has no connection to Kofi Kingston. None. This is silly. And then they kept showing Dominic, and I'm like, oh, he's going to beat up Dominic, isn't he? And then he did. And if WWE is going to have Rey Mysterio's kid get beat up, okay, I guess. But why make it obvious by having a camera in front of him and behind him? Like, you just don't do that. And, to have it so the camera's looking over Dominic's shoulder at Brock in the ring. And I'm not sure. And then they show Ray getting in the ambulance with him to go to the medical facility. Can't call it a hospital. I don't know why they don't call it a hospital. Does anybody know why they don't call it a hospital? Anyway, the whole thing went on for way too long. And we've seen this before. And then what really got me was I kept thinking, where's Seth? Right? Where's Seth? Where's the Beast Slayer? He calls himself the Beast. Where's Seth? He's just standing backstage and going, oh, that sucks. Hey, Seth, you gonna go out and help? Yeah, no. No, he'll just beat me up too. Like, and that's the problem. That's the impression I get from that is that Seth hid backstage because he's worried that Brock would beat him up too. That to me in character is how I see it. Then later on in the night, Seth's like, he crossed the line, and all I could say, and I said it out loud to the television, was, and where were you? Like, these guys come out to make the save until they don't. And in this case, I got my problem with the Fiend. I don't need to worry about Brock Lesnar. Like, it's just, and I get the feeling that they're almost building towards Brock versus the Fiend. That might be where we end up. And I would have enjoyed that a lot more. Now, what I didn't understand with Raw this week was, so you build up all week that Rey Mysterio is getting a shot at the title. We all know he's not going to win it. Then you pull Rey out of the match because he's not able to compete, even though he walked out. He wasn't holding his ribs or anything. He walked. It was Dominic that was on the stretcher. Rey wasn't on a stretcher. He was physically okay, but all right. And then Rusev comes in, and I guess he's a face, except when he isn't, because he's a heel. And Alexa Bliss has got me confused that way, too. She's a face, she's a heel. And it's like, does WWE not realize that people watch the show every week? And so they have a hard time following why people... And this is something that's important when you've got wrestling, which is characters, and it's fake, it's scripted. We need to understand why. So if Alexa Bliss now is a good guy, we need to understand why. And why doesn't she talk like one? Why doesn't Nikki act like one? Why are they sometimes good guys and sometimes bad guys? And sometimes it's in the same week. And it's sort of the lazy booking they've always done with women. It's and it's frustrating because you'd watch like Natalia would turn heel, face, heel, face, heel, face. It's kind of happening with Charlotte right now, where it's like, oh, now everybody's going to cheer for her, okay, or not. Where fans will be like, no, we don't buy it. Which is when WWE gets all like, wait, they're not cheering the people they're supposed to. Well, part of it is when your characters aren't consistent, like the fact that your tag champions are Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Why? Like, yeah, that's a decent team, but why? And then they're facing Heavy Machinery for the titles, and I'm going, when did Heavy Machinery win a number one contenders match? When aren't they SmackDown? Like, I'm legit now. I have no idea what show people are supposed to be on. I know they're doing another draft, but I'm just baffled by the whole thing. And there's some great wrestling going on. But this is why when news comes out, and it came out, I believe, yesterday or the day before, that AEW will have a presence on TSN in Canada, I went, oh, thank God. There's only so much that I can handle before I say, yeah, I'm done. And it's weird because you could do that with a TV show. I did it with The Walking Dead, like I think 4 years ago now, 3-4 years ago, where I said, yeah, I'm done. It was when Glenn got baseball batted. I went, yeah, I'm finished. That's it. I'm done. And it wasn't that they killed Glenn off. It was that the entire season before that was all about, is Glenn alive? Is Glenn dead? And Maggie moving on with her life, and then finding out he's alive, and oh, he's alive, and oh, it's wonderful, and then nah, he's dead anyways. And it felt like an entire season had been wasted. And that's where I have a problem with WWE sometimes, is it feels like they're wasting my time. They're wasting it. Because I buy into a storyline and go, okay, I buy into this character, I buy into what you're doing, you're building this guy up. Oh, you just destroyed him. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Okay then. Like, if Kofi goes on Friday on SmackDown and he gets absolutely annihilated by Brock, which is what I'm expecting, and he loses the belt. They built up Kofi for months, and then it's just to give the belt back to Brock Lesnar anyways. And it feels tone deaf to just hand the title to Brock Lesnar, because I can't stand him. And it's not heel heat. It's not, oh, I get so angry when I watch him. It's, I don't want to see him anymore. I don't. I don't enjoy his wrestling. I don't enjoy his style. I don't. The whole fact that he never sells anything, and then when he does, it's because somebody low blows him, or there's something. Nobody ever. And it's just, it's the same match every single time. It's the exact same match, and I don't want to see it anymore. And if they're going to use Brock to try to sell SmackDown, and apparently they want Bray on SmackDown too. Like, Fox wants SmackDown to be the A show, and that's the new thing. They're like, oh, it's going to be the A show. Why doesn't WWE have two A shows? Why do we have to have one that they're ignoring and one that they want to pay all the attention to? That's ridiculous. You have two shows, give them equal attention, give them an equal roster, and build them both up. So I'm looking forward to AEW. And Seth, I don't know. You guys can let me know how you feel in the comment section. But for me, I ignore it when Seth comes out. I know he's just gonna have all his burn it down. I'm gonna burn it down. I'm gonna burn it down. Look, at this point, it feels like he's trying to make fetch happen. I get it that the crowd says burn it down and that people buy it, and I understand that I'm in my 40s now, so I'm not their target audience. But I don't care. I just don't. And I have to say, in closing, I want to mention Ric Flair. I think has gone completely around the deep end. Listening to him ramble in the ring last night with Miz and Hogan, he definitely went off script. They should not give him a live microphone. I thought they would have learned from that a while ago. They haven't. It's entertaining. Not gonna lie, it's very entertaining. It's really funny, but Ric Flair at this point in time, he's going where none of us. He's over Space Mountain. He's limousine riding, styling, profiling 24/7 now. He's gone, and I really thought he was going to throw a punch at Hogan last night. I was like, wait, is he? Because he was doing the tap thing and getting all. I was like, okay, are we really? And you could see Hogan kind of going, what? And Miz just thinking, I don't want to have to hit an old man. Like, it just, yeah, it was really uncomfortable to watch. But let me know how you felt about that too, and just the overall product. I love the Sasha bit with Becky Lynch. I love that whole thing. I still don't understand what they're doing with Alexa. I'm trying to think of what else there really was that I could talk about in this. Firefly Funhouse is always fantastic. It's always amazing. Bray is always fantastic. I don't think they know what they're doing with Braun Strowman. I don't think they have a clue. I think Bray choking him out means he's going to be gone for a few weeks, and they'll bring him back and beat up a bunch of little kids or something. I don't know. But let me know how you guys feel, and especially when it comes to the Brock Lesnar beating people down thing. Like, it just feels like it's being overdone, and nobody comes out to help, which makes it look like everybody in the locker room thinks Rey Mysterio's a dick. That's how I take it. And I understand if people are going to say, well, everybody's scared of Brock. They shouldn't be. They're supposed to be professional wrestlers, and when you've got, Bobby Lashley and Rusev, oh God, I think I mentally blocked that. Whatever storyline they're doing with Rusev, the Maria Kanellis thing, Lana, and Lashley, oh my God, don't do this. Please don't do this. Just stop. Please. Please stop. Thank you. Let me know how you guys feel about that as well. I haven't watched any of the reviews of I haven't watched the ups and downs with Simon Miller yet. I haven't watched Wrestle Talk's discussion of last night's show yet. But for me, there is nothing worse than a fake affair storyline. It is lazy writing. It is stupid. It's from the 90s. We don't need that part of the Attitude Era back. Everybody loves the Attitude Era, and they forget how crappy parts of the Attitude Era were. But let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.